this is Static Wave, and I'm going to show you guys a Stamsorc PvP build for this patch and possibly every future patch. This build is called the last Stamsorc because it is the final build that I'm going to use. I'm not going to make any more build videos. I don't think I need to anymore. This build pretty much meets all the expectations that I have for a Stamsorc build. So this is what I'm going to use until it gets nerfed or until better stuff comes out, which I don't think they will come out. So without further ado, let's get into the setup. So for the 2-piece monster sets, I'm using Balorgh. Balorgh is a damage crutch. It gives you pen and weapon damage whenever you use an ultimate. This is my go-to set for damage because you just get so much damage when you use when you're trying to burst someone down. But if you want to use something else like Engine Guardian or Bloodspawn, for example, you can do that. I mean, changing up the monster set is not gonna hurt the build. It's just a preference, and my preference is Balorgh. For the first 5-piece set, I'm using Trickery. This is the bread and butter of this build. Trickery is such a good set for Stam or Mag or any class. It's good because the stats are universal and it gives you 5 major buffs. And the 5 major buffs are so good on Stamsorc because the class literally doesn't have any of these buffs. I mean, you have Vitality, but you have to slot a skill for it. And Stamsorc struggles with bar space, especially with this setup. So this set is going to give you a bunch of major buffs that you're always going to need. So you can't really go wrong with this set. And the most important benefit of using this set is that it's a back bar set. So that allows you to run the Vateshran Perfected Maul. This is the best 2-piece set in the game so far. Like, the offensive stats that it gives is just too good for a 2-piece set. And the proc, the damage is really good. It's an AoE damage proc, and the proc condition is too easy as well. Like, I think it's broken. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's broken, and that's why I use it. I need all the advantage that I can get for a solo PvPer. So I'm not ashamed of that, right? Like, I know people don't like procs, but if you play solo PvP, you need all the advantage you can get, especially against Zergs. So use everything you can, and this gives you all the damage that you need in this build. It pairs really well with Crystal Weapon, so you can literally one-shot most squishies with Crystal Weapon, Vateshran proc, Executioner. It's just too nice to give up. And my final set is Essence Thief. So this is kind of a niche set. Like, I know some people don't like Essence Thief because of the proc condition. Like, sometimes I hate using this set because the proc would randomly spawn in weird locations that I can't get to. But most of the time, the proc, it's easy to get, and on a Stamsorc you have the speed to leverage this set. So it's really good. It's stat dense, probably the most stat dense 5-piece set in my opinion. Like, it gives you 10% damage to everything, and that 10% also also buffs Vateshran as well. And it gives you like over 4k stamina when you get it, and then it gives you some health back, and the stats are just very good. Like, you can run this with any mythic and you'll be fine. Like, you just don't have any wasted stats, and it allows you to run super low regen. Like as you can see here, I barely have 1300 stamina regen. This is so low for what I'm used to, right? I usually play a high recovery build because I explained before, I don't like to crutch on Dark Deal. Like if you use Dark Deal too much, you are limiting yourself in your damage output potential. So the only way to not crutch on Dark Deal is to run high regen, and this set allows you to do that, right? You have more time on the front bar because you don't have to Dark Deal as much, and that's gonna increase your damage output by a lot more. Essence Thief allows you to also run the Sugar Skulls food, and that gives you a bunch of stats. Like my stats are cracked. I have 20k magic on the back bar, like 33.5k stam, a good amount of health, and I can always increase my health because I have 64 points to stam. I can always put more points into health. So very good. Um, very good combination. Very good combination with Essence Thief and Sugar Skulls. And yeah, the traits. I mean, you can already see what I'm using. I have Infused on the jewelries. I have Well Fitted, 1 Reinforced on the chest, Sharp Front, Defending and Sturdy back. And for the enchants, I have all Tri-Stack Glyphs on the body, 2 weapon damage, 1 recovery. You still want to have some regen. Even though you can get away with low regen, you don't want it to drop below 1k. Like the minimum threshold is 1000 recovery. Any lower and you're gonna get yourself killed because you just don't have the sustain in case when you cannot grab the essence, right? Like you're not gonna always get the essence. Like in a scenario where the essence does not go your way, you need the regen, the passive regen from this to help you sustain, right? In case you don't get the essence. So try to stay above 1k recovery. You can sacrifice some damage for it. Like honestly, this patch damage is so high that you can kind of get away with lower weapon damage. And yeah, I have an Oblivion enchant on front bar. The reason I have this over any poison is because for some reason Oblivion enchant crits, and it crits a lot. So when it crits a lot, crit surge is gonna help you heal, and this is very good, especially on a burst build. Like you don't have a lot of sources of damage, so you don't always crit. I mean, you don't always proc crit surge reliably. But this enchant is gonna help you proc it more, and it's gonna help you heal more when you're in a fight. So use this and try it for yourself. You'll see what I mean. And on the back bar, I have a weapon damage enchant and a max stam on the shield. But usually I run the escapist poison, which immobilizes my enemies. So that's gonna help you land your dizzy swings more, and it's gonna help you stick to your target more. For the race, I'm Imperial. I used to be a Wood Elf, but Imperial is very good. It gives you max health. It gives you cost reduction to literally everything. Like your blocking, your rolling, your sprint is gonna reduce all of it. So that's why I went with Imperial. But other races like Nord, Orc, Wood Elf also work. For the Mundus, I'm using Lady. I'm using Lady because I'm playing a Bruiser playstyle. Like you guys probably watch my videos. I used to play the one-shot build with Mechanical Acuity and Doyle Mish long before the one-shot build became meta. Like right now, I know Stamsorc meta is the triple proc one-shot build with max weapon damage. I don't like that setup. Like, I don't like that playstyle. It's just boring, right? I played that for so long before it was meta. I kind of got bored of it. Like I saw all the limitations of that kind of playstyle, and I want to play that. And when you want to play a bruiser playstyle, you need to sacrifice damage for tankiness. It's the only way to play a bruiser playstyle. So that's why I'm using Lady. Like there's just no other way. You have to use Lady. Or if you don't wanna use Lady and you wanna use something like Lover, you have to use Protective, right? To get back the armor somehow. But honestly, just use Lady. Saves you the transmute, right? And yeah, 64 points. It's a stam. I'm a human. And my CPs. This CP is for next patch. So I have Deadly Aim, Master at Arms, Fighting Finesse, Ironclad. So you can see here, this CP is for next patch. But right now, I don't play CP. I play mostly in BGs, where I test my setups, and I play in no CP during prime time, because that's the only place where it doesn't lag, or Black Reach. But Black Reach is kinda dead most of the time, so Raven Watch is where I play for Cyrodiil. So yeah, skills, pretty standard. Laser Swing, Crystal Weapon, Grid Surge, Rally, Execute, Dawnbreaker, Streak, Dark Deal, Vigor, Ransack, Hurricane, and Spell Wall. I use Ransack instead of Pierce Armor because I want the mana protection. It's just extra mitigation that allows you to stay in the fight for longer. But Pierce Armor is better for dueling. It gives you the most amount of damage. But honestly, you have Balorgh. You don't need Pierce Armor. You need the extra mitigation, right? And if you want even more tankiness, run a loot. That major evasion fucks up Stamplar, Magplar, Wardens, Necros. Pretty much anything that does AoE damage. And if you want mitigation against that, run a loot. But I don't need it. I just want a little bit more damage to secure my kills. So I went with Ransack. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup, right? I'm gonna show you guys a video clip of a BG match that I played. I try not to show you guys BG games where I just slaughter people. Like, those games aren't worth putting up because one, if you get that much kills, you're probably fighting bad players or PvEers. And two, if you're getting that much kills, you're not fighting people during the prime time where the pre-mates are queuing, right? And if you want to test something, like I always test my builds against at least above average players. That's when I know if my build is good or not. So the clip I'm showing you guys now has a pre-made. They're not super good, but they're above average. Like, I took a lot of damage from them. And the group had a support Stamsorc with Bombard and dual wield and 2 Mag Necros. And like I had trouble. I'm not gonna lie, I had trouble surviving. But I just want to show you guys the tankiness of this setup in no CP against that comp. And you guys will see what I mean when I say like this build is tanky. Like it's why, like this is why I will stick to the setup until it gets nerfed. It's just too good. It suits my playstyle perfectly. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the video now. I hope you guys like the build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Any question, just feel free to ask. And I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. Peace.